Hello lovely simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are doing an apartment renovation. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I was a little pressed on time this week and I haven't done an apartment building and I've wanted to do one, so I decided that this was the perfect week to go ahead and do it. And then I wanted to do something kind of different, something kind of fun. So I wanted to do an 8 sim apartment. And I didn't want to do like a super large apartment because I thought that'd be too easy. So I wanted to make it like a super cozy, super fun 8 sim apartment. And this is what I came up with. It has 4 bedrooms, so there'll be 2 sims in each bedroom. And I thought about changing it to an even smaller apartment because, you know, we do have bunk beds, so we can make even smaller rooms. But I was a little nervous about like the functionality of things, and I don't know exactly how to upload apartments to the gallery, so it's not like I'd be doing that, but I really wanted the apartment to be functional, so in case I did figure out how to upload it to the gallery, so I didn't want to have to worry about anything like that. But right now we are starting with the furnishing. So you kind of saw I'm using these exposed beams from Snow Escape. I just really like the way that that looks. I think it makes apartments look a little bit older in The Sims, a little bit like they've, you know, been around for a while, and that's more realistic in terms of like city apartments. A lot of them have these built-in like cabinetries and stuff like that and exposed brick and stuff because they are super old buildings that they've refurnished or refurbished. So I wanted to kind of try and play off of that because I've been doing a lot of apartment hunting recently, so I've been seeing apartments pretty much everywhere every day for like the past like month. So but we're over here in the front door area, and like I said, I wanted this to be a family apartment, so I did add the parenthood board next to one of the parenthood mirrors, and then I also got the Seasons umbrella and thermostat because here in the city it does actually rain a lot in San Myshuno, so I wanted to make sure that they had umbrellas. And then I just decorate the area with some simple pictures and plants and decorations and stuff like that. And then over here I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to put because I had a lot of extra like space in terms of walkways and stuff with this apartment, so I decided just to make kind of like an art installation piece here with some wall decorations. And then here is where I put the office. I was initially going to close off a room for the office, but I thought it'd be a little bit more cozy and chaotic if like the family didn't have a separate office space, so like all the kids and the parents had to do all of their work on this one desk in this tiny little area. And I thought that kind of just played more off of what I was trying to go for this apartment. And it's very simple. It's the Seasons desk and then a Discover University bookshelf because it kind of looks like the IKEA ones, and that's the ones that I always had growing up. It's actually the one that I have behind me on my desk right now. So I thought I wanted to kind of play off of that. And then I'm just decorating the shelf a little bit with some of these plates. And I thought that the kids were probably very creative and the parents probably really like encourage them to be creative and encourage them to do what they wanted. So there's a lot of random kids clutter and kids items throughout the living space of the apartment, so that way it could kind of portray that the kids are like spilling out of their rooms and stuff because they are quite tiny rooms. And then over here we're just putting up a picture because I had this really large space and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to put here. I initially wasn't going to do a table because I have one right by the front door, but I thought that this kitchen kit clutter item would look so cute in this apartment. And of course I say that, and then this is the only item I use. I don't use any of the ones in the actual kitchen, which I'm kicking myself for, but I was super tired while doing this and I totally just spaced. But I thought that that looked like really nice as like an entryway type of a thing, and then they could also have like extra space to put down some clutter and stuff. And then over here is the kitchen. So the kitchen is kind of separated. It has the beams right by the same as that's right by the front door, and then I'm using the parenthood counters and cabinets as well, so that way everything is matching. And I use this base game tile because it gives it like a backsplash appeal up here, and I like how that looks. I don't always do it because sometimes the tiles don't match, but I like how it looks with this wood tone on these cabinets. And then I'm just cluttering up the counter space a little bit and just doing my basic normal things. A lot of it is probably the same as what I do in all of my kitchens, but it's fine. I mean, I have a style, and I was really wanting to just clutter this kitchen up, make it seem very homey. And I don't know, my idea for this family was that they were living in the city because of the parents' work, but they weren't really city people. Like, I thought maybe they had grown up in Brindleton Bay or Newcrest or like one of the more rustic suburban towns, but they moved to the city because they had to do their work, and this is where their work was, so they kind of tried to bring their hometown here into the city. So that was kind of my idea. That's why everything looks a little bit more like it would belong in Brindleton Bay. In fact, I'm using these cats and dogs couches over here in the living room, and I really like how these couches look near really large windows, because in my opinion, these couches look the best when they have like sunlight shining on them. I don't know what it is. I think it's like reminiscent of when I first got my new computer. If you guys don't know, I used to play on a Mac, and I never had shadows in my game. Like, I never had shadows or sunlight or whatever. All my screenshots were just so basic, and I didn't realize how good the graphics could be until I got this new computer, and this was the first couches that I used, and I was just in such awe over how good these couches looked that I think now I want to use them all the time, specifically so I can recreate that moment. But we're finishing up the living room here rather quickly, and I'm adding a couple of clutter items. Like I said, I'm just making it look like the kids' stuff is kind of spilling out into the family room. And then over here is one of 2 bathrooms in the build. And initially I didn't add a toddler potty to this bathroom because I thought I'd have the space in the other one, but then I remembered that one of these needed to have a bathtub, because not only did I plan on them having toddlers, but I planned on them having a dog, and I put the bathtub in the other bathroom, and then I couldn't fit the toddler potty, so I do end up throwing it in this one. But this bedroom right here I thought was for more of like the kids, not the teenagers, but the kids, even though technically the bed that I'm using, the base game bed on that top bunk, is the I Dream of Teen bed. But the way I decorated this room, initially I wanted it to be like preteens, and then I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, because we don't have preteens in The Sims, and there's 3 kids' bedrooms, so it would make much more sense if I did 1 room for kids, 1 room for toddlers, and 1 room for teenagers. So that's what I ended up doing, and I'm adding in just a little seating area over here by the bookshelf, so that way they have a nice place to read. I didn't really think about these kids' activities or hobbies. I kind of just thought that they were very sociable, and they had a lot of friends, and they probably enjoyed like hanging out with their friends in the city, going to the different art museums and stuff like that. So that was what I was thinking for these kids in particular. And then we're about to go on into the parents' bedroom, and the parents' bedroom is very basic. It has this I think it's cats and dogs bed in this light wood and pink and like yellow swatch. And then I'm using some of these hanging plants from the, the Nifty Knitting Kit, just to kind of fill in the space over there. And then I'm doing this trick that I've been doing recently where I take some shelves and I line them up above the bed, so that way I have more room to just place some clutter items and stuff. And I placed a camera here. I thought one of the parents might be a photographer, and that's why they lived here in the city. Like maybe they had a spot at the museum where they could post all their or hang up all their pictures and stuff like that. And I put these wall decorations up because they kind of look like maybe they could be photographs that were maybe edited a little bit, so I thought maybe those were like this parent's most famous photography pieces or something, and she keeps them around, or maybe they're her favorite, so she keeps them around. And then over here in the left hand corner I do place a small dog bed. Now I was anticipating this family having a larger dog than what would fit on that dog bed, but I couldn't fit the dog bed in here that was that big and still have it be functional, so I decided just to go with the small dog bed. And then you guys can either delete the dog bed or find a way to make it functional with a larger one, or play with a small dog. I'm not the biggest fan of small dogs though. I like really big dogs, so that's why I was imagining a large dog for this family. But in here is the other bathroom. Like I said, this one does have the bathtub, so you can bathe your toddler and your dog. And that's when I decided to go ahead and add the toddler potty into the other one. And then in here is the toddler room. It's the most colorful room in the build. It's like all very like blues and purples and yellows, and kind of just like basic family friendly toddler colors, because I wanted it to be, I don't know, I wanted them to have the most fun room, because I definitely thought that like they were the newest addition to the family, so everyone was like super excited. Like all the kids were like, oh my god, I'm gonna help them decorate their room and stuff like that. I thought maybe the other kids had helped them, paint those chalk drawings on their walls as well. And then in here is the room I thought was more for teenagers. I give them a double desk so that way they can sit next to each other while they do their homework. And I thought that one of them was into like sports and school and stuff like that, and then one of them was into music, so that was kind of my thinking. But besides that, that is it for this build, so I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!